Greetings and welcome everybody to the Dr. Jane Mackenzie live on a Thursday, where we talk about pioneering, leading edge, groundbreaking, miracle medicine, case studies, nutrients to use, but best of all, today we're talking about has the body's got capacity to heal, and giving the body's ability to heal by using natural nutrients that are going to let the innate ability of the body to heal kick in. And this year, in 2 weeks' time, we are going to be having a celebratory event at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston. We're going to be celebrating our chronic disease clinic and opening a whole new area. We've almost doubled the size. We're able to accommodate 12 people on our famous oxygen drips. They are real miracles. Often people, we carry them in and they walk out after 3 hours and the pain subsides. And it's so beautiful to see the joy in their faces, and especially the next morning when they come for the second drip. It's just like chalk and cheese. And this is anything from fibroids, endometriosis, growths, intense pain, inflammation, fibromyalgia, long-term chronic disease, also long-term COVID. So we really, really are excited to be celebrating the opening of the new clinic. And we've made it really pretty and beautiful, and you will be seeing lots of pictures about this soon. So I'm delighted to share that with you. That's 2 weeks' time. It'll be the 29th of November, which is actually Black Friday Day. So whatever Black Friday we're doing will also hold for the people who visit that evening. And then together with that event, I'm really celebrating all of you who have worked really hard this year and the years before to tackle your health issues head on, be it physical, be it emotional, be it both. And I want to celebrate all of you. You will heal you. As a practitioner, I consider myself the facilitator and you the healer. Hippocrates said, physician, heal thyself. Most of you are intelligent enough. You're equipped with the body. It knows how to heal. Let's just give it the right nutrients. And let's dispel the mental constructs that are blocking us move forward, the handbrake. Because this is what I'm finding so often, and what we have the solutions for is we get caught up in that mental construct. So I need to be responsible for everyone. I need to be perfect. I need to prevent at all costs any form of abandonment, rejection, lack of self-worth. And then we live that construct for the rest of our life, and it manifests in our body. And depending on the weak area, if it's lungs, you will find the parasites lodged there. You will find the toxins lodged there, the cadmium, the heavy metals. So we see this day in and day out, and I'm really, really happy to be able to, in a very simplified, easy language, explain to you what we do here and how we can get, celebrate your health too. So it is up to you. I can take you to the water, and you need to do the drinking. You need to do it all. And I always just say to people, well, don't even put your head down. Just put your head forward and go. The more we question, the more we get into logic, the more we get into our left brain, the more the handbrake goes up. The more we're in the right vein, the trusting our body, the trusting the process, put the mind out the way, the better and the quicker the healing. I can only share with you, my observations and the results that we get, which are quantum medicine assessment results and the research. So what I'm sharing with you is evidence-based medicine. So holistic quantum well-being, to allow the body to purify and nourish the body so that we can achieve maximum health. That is my aim for everybody, each one of you, and the people that cross my path, and I'm happy to help you. So people know that they phone in, and I'm going to explain to you a little bit about the process, but really, really wanting to celebrate you. As I said, my role is to educate and support, and I'm very happy to do that. That's my passion. And when people heal, that's my reward. That is what I'm looking forward to. Those people that walk in and they're unrecognizable. The people that walked in and sat with their hand on their head because they were so tired, so fatigued, so finished, so washed out. And they walk in and they're sitting upright. And they're telling me that they're exercising and waking up early and life's just wonderful. They understand who they are. They understand why they're here. And they've let go of the constructs. Well, many of them that we set in place. So this is human nature, really. We come in from unconditional love space, wherever you want to call it, the quantum field, the morphogenic field, the Akashic record field, the universal field of wisdom. And we then, at a certain consciousness level, and then what we do is we live our life. We collide with the genetics and the epigenetics of our family that we've chosen to learn our lessons, be it betrayal, be it rejection, abandonment, self-pride. And then we live our life and we have a choice. So we can choose happiness or sadness. And why do we choose sadness? That's what I don't understand. Why do we create the world that we've created and want to destruct it? Self-destruct ourselves? It doesn't make sense. So that's what we pride ourselves in doing, is unraveling this nonsense. Unraveling the stuckness and moving to freedom, joy, peace, unconditional love. And that's where we're coming from. And believe you me, we're all in the classroom, as far as I'm concerned. Until you can walk on water, you're still learning. And from my perspective, I would like to self-discover myself as far as possible, as deep as possible, so that one day when I do transcend, I can tick the boxes and say, you know what, Jane, well done. You hit this life head on. You gave it what you could. You never left a stone unturned. You shared, you helped other people to achieve peace and freedom, and then leave on a much higher level than I arrived at. That to me will be a life well lived. And using the incidences in the day, the work I do, the people I meet, to see where resistance is created. What do I need to learn? How can I raise my consciousness? Simple. Rather than getting stuck in what happened, the blame, and licking that wound for years and years and years and years, taking medicine to numb the pain, to get rid of the memory, etc. So we have that choice, and I can't make that choice for you. The people that come in have virtually made that choice. Sometimes no, and sometimes I have to wait and sit back. I can't lead a horse that's not ready to leave, but we can slowly but surely raise awareness for people. So that's the object of these webinars. I must be on something like 300 now. So read them, understand where we're coming from. It's all natural. The 365 Healthy by Choice products are pure, natural, and unique. They work with the body's intelligence to heal. They work with nature's intelligence, and work in a quantum space, because they're as nature intended in that form. Very little extraction, only if it's the only way I can get the product, but it's in the natural form. It has all the dimensions intact, which means that it's not only working physically, it's not only working on reducing inflammation, it's working on the whole body, understanding why the emotions there also from a neurological, emotional, and spiritual point of view. And that's the beauty of products in the natural state, without fillers and binders. It's also the beauty of the NASA quantum devices that we use, the EPEX, the SCIO, because these devices also hold the frequency in the quantum state, in all the dimensions of the quantum state: physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. And if you have a look at any traditional medicine, if you look at traditional medicine around the world, be it traditional Chinese, traditional Russian, traditional European, traditional North American, traditional South American, traditional African. It's all holism based, and the herbs are holistic. They are not interfered with at all. They are not patented, because you can't patent a natural herb. Please understand, the patents are normally related to the extraction process. The process, the modification, the manufacturing of an item. That's what we don't want, because you remove it out of a multi-dimensional space into two-dimension. It will just do inflammation. We don't want that. That's wasting our time. It's lowering our energy. So we work with holism, we work with quantum physics, we work with well-being consciousness, and I work with your appetite to heal. Can I say that? So you heal you. The process that I used to do is the HIELO process. I'm going to go through the slides now to have a look at as well, just to anchor what I'm saying, and to assist people who want to come and see me but don't always know exactly what to expect. Here we go. There it sits. And I'm going to pull that through. Because I think if something's new, people aren't always completely aware of, the facets of how we do the purification and how we do the cleansing and the clearing. So I'm going to go through a little bit of detail on that as well, just while it pulls through. And very excited to say I've got a nice fast system working for me right now, which really does get us to where we need to be. But this HIELO process works with a multidimensional holistic quantum well-being framework. HIELO is a binary. It's high and the low. So binary is high and low together, happy and sad together, good and bad together, which I've explained in many of my recent YouTube recordings, educational recordings. So my perspective is existential, it's holistic. I can't work on just the thyroid or just the rash. I can't help it. I can't. I'm not made that way. And, even when you sit in business meetings and everything, they tell you to focus on one aspect. I can't do that. It's not in my makeup. So I need to get all the parts integrated. Speaking, interconnected, holistic, working on a whole solution. And that's what I'm doing. And I use also chaos and disorder and resistance within myself and within people to raise consciousness. And I get really excited when somebody comes where they're stuck. They know they've got to shift. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to look. The blood pressure's up, the blood sugar's up, the weight's up, the insulin resistance is up, the pancreas is failing, the itch is there, the energy levels are low. And I know all they want to do is, Jane, show me the way and I'll do it. So that's very, very nice for me. That's what I love, because then I can just really, really come in and just get somebody really motivated to work. And of course, the results are quick. So it's just an improvement in energy all the time. It's an upward trajectory is the word I'm looking for. The quantum spin gets faster and faster because the healing heals. Yes, some people, they do take a little bit of time. I have to work with the energy of the body. Sometimes we can't push the body more than it can go. You can't expect a body to heal when the energy levels or the adrenals are too low, the battery's discharged. We have to charge the battery and then heal, charge the battery and heal. And again, an upward trajectory. Very gentle with the body. So just to say as well, often the symptom that people come in with isn't actually the cause. It will lead to the cause. It will lead to the origin. But you always need to get there. Get there first, because the symptom is the false reality. It's the distraction. It's the catalyst. So put the cancer over there and let's deal with the real issue. Put the rash over there. Let's deal with the real issue. If it's an organ, then let's deal. If it's the kidney, let's deal with the fear. The most important thing is that you own it. It's yours. It's part of you. You are responsible for it. You set it up. And if you never listen to the knocks on the door, the silent knocks that just got louder when your body spoke to you, you deal with it now, because the body is now knocking so hard that if you don't fix it, the body's going to go really out of alignment, really out of magnetic spin. So very important to raise awareness, especially to the false reality. And then, most importantly, to allow you to self-transform. You need to feel it. You need to do it. And that's really where I come in. Let's have a look at some of these slides that I've put together. And really nice to see all of you here. Thank you for coming. I'm just having a quick look. All right, so let's have a look here. Celebrating our ability to heal. My word, the body is extraordinary. You give it the 1% chance to heal and it'll start healing for you. So this is where we get the miracles, because we are equipping the body with the right nutrients to nourish it, to heal, the right detoxification nutrients to clean out what shouldn't be here. So we're cleaning out, yes, physical toxins, glycophosphates, environmental chemicals, uranium, nuclear material, and the emotional toxins. So once we start clearing, the life force raises and the ability to clear increases, the life force increases, the ability to heal increases even more. So that's what it's about. It's just about repeated entries into the HIELO process. So we really do celebrate this, and this is my holistic integrative epigenetic life orientation. Of course, the epigenetics are key. So we want to boost the physical, neurological, emotional well-being of people, including spirituality. Here is the interplay between the binary name of the high and the low. And I just want to sort of relate it to yin and yang because it fits in, it works. Yin and yang is about binary. When the yin and yang is binary and unified in the universal field of wisdom, that is when you get optimized, happy and sad together, unified, as opposed to that's in non-duality, as opposed to duality, when you've got happy and sad at opposite ends of a continuum. That is going to be disorder, completely disorder. So when we order the chaos, we come into the unified binary. And that's why this name is so significant, because it's balancing the high and the low all the time and assisting with the middle road. That explains that. And then just to know that the DNA is the epigenetics. And that's where we can get distortions brought about by toxicity, vaccinations, and then continually working on resistance, stuckness, and eventually, we carve a neurological path and a path in the DNA, which keeps us stuck. But the beautiful thing is that this is able to restore itself, and only it wants to restore itself. And then we can then take the DNA to the next level and work with nature's natural evolutionary process. Because there is cosmic dust that is falling on a daily basis, things like medicinal mushrooms coming out of big fruiting bodies, coming out of the tree trunks, pollen, royal jelly, the algae, and these nutritional substances on another level. They're here to educate us and shift the DNA. So if we know all this, let's get onto it and let's get moving. That's what I say. And yes, we can take 2 steps forward, 1 back, another 3 forward, another 1 back. That's fine. That's human nature. And that's as we're moving with the resistance between the high and the low. And I really think all of you can understand that. I think you can get what I'm saying. The happy and the sad are there on purpose to create a resistance. So we can work out what we need to learn, raise our consciousness, carry on, and become very aware of the distraction, the purpose of a distraction. Come back into our centered point, our stillness, our heart and our gut feel, as opposed to the top brain. This is emotional and it's scattered. We will never get a definitive answer here. We'll get choices that are all confusing. But when you're in the universal field of wisdom, that is when you get a definitive answer every single time. And I do this not only for individuals, but also for businesses. So with the business, I'll do the HIELO process, holistic ancestral orientation, because with the individuals in the business, because no use if individuals have got the handbrake on, because they're going to carry that into their business. So for example, if a leader has a problem with self-worth, they're going to have difficulty with the pricing of their product because they're going to think it's not worthy. They will have a problem with their marketing material. They'll have a problem with their staff. So that lack of self-worth is going to be covered, in the business. It's going to be sprinkled over like an overlay. So let's remove that handbrake so that the business can flourish. Now, sometimes there's a couple of leaders. So we would do the individual holistic orientation process plus the combined business orientation. And there we will find the combined origin. And maybe collectively, it could be resentment, lack of acknowledgement, also lack of self-worth, any one of those. So we then treat it from a holistic business orientation, and then people can ask questions. Should we do this product or that product, this service or that service, or 5 services? Which one do we need to start first? And the universal field of wisdom tells us exactly every time. It is too incredible. And the more processes we do, the more you learn the process yourself and can do it yourself. So it's very exciting. You don't need a degree for this. You don't need to have read books about this. It's just an understanding that we've always had. I said last week, I'm not bringing anything new. It's just a framework that's time has come to reemerge. So lots of exciting things. So just a little bit then on that yin and yang. You see the opposites. They're not opposite. They seemingly disparate, but they're not. They're totally holistically aligned. And then this is the process where we go through the body, the mind, the emotion, and the spirit. And we keep going through this, raising our awareness, raising our consciousness, and then bringing about peace, joy, happiness, freedom, and unconditional love, and shifting the DNA as we move through the reset, restore, rejuvenate, and rejoice process. So it's very streamlined now, very scalable, very teachable. And this is when we're working in the multidimensional non-duality. So the actual process, I'm going to go through the inquiry, the assessment, the physical purification, the mental purification, emotional, spiritual, and then the ultimate reassessment. And I think that picture's quite illustrative of the total process. So we would always start with inquiry. People know, they'll come in and they'll tell you. For example, today I was listening to my mum. She brought her mother for an epic skio consultation. And she was listening to her mom speak, and the trials and the tribulations that the mom had gone through, including her grandfather, who had come from Europe in concerning the mining in this country, and of course male, and of course found the women that were available. One happened to be her mom, a very young girl at the time, and she got pregnant, and the man turned around and said, "Here's money. I don't want to know about this. You need to go and get an abortion." And being the girl that she is, the mom, she didn't. So my client was born. And so my client was listening to her mom recount stories. And of course, there's no history, there's no epigenetics that we completely aware of, because there was no contact ever again. And also then on the other side, I mean, there was poisoning, there was sexual molestation, there was alcoholism, there was infidelity, and a whole lot of stories, because this girl came today because she said, Jane, I want to remove any of these epigenetic molecules of emotion that I've inherited, that I took to learn to raise my own awareness. She's done a lot of work on herself already. And absolutely beautiful. We went into the field. We've already done with her. We've already done the quantum assessment with her, so we know which organs are out, because that's where we would start. I'm going to come back to working in the field now. So just bear with me. So we do the inquiry, which I've just basically given you. We find out that her actual emotion at the bottom of it all was she felt resentful for all the experiences and all the people and the grandpa that molested her, and etc., etc. So then I know, subjectively, that origin of the emotion. And then I will then do the physical assessment. I will look, this is Chinese medicinal medicine. I will look at the organs. I will look at the elements. So the organs would be the lungs and the liver and so on. The elements would be the wood and the fire. And put that together into the assessment pot, if you like. And then work also on the inquiry. Knowing that we're going to be moved, they'll tell you. And she said to me, Jane, I don't want to be stuck in anywhere. I want to be totally free. I said, perfect. So then once we validated everything and we've looked at the nutrients that are important, and we've looked at a live blood analysis as well, where we're doing dark and bright field. Sometimes they bring their live blood analysis, their laboratory test in as well, and we have a look. We combine everything, get to the root causes on a physical level. We're moving through the reset, restore, the rejuvenation, rejoice aspects, and we look at removing the root causes and realigning the body. So once we've done the physical realignment, including lifestyle and stress, we would then move into the HIELO process, where we're looking at neurological, emotional, and spiritual aspects. So she said she wants to remove the stuckness, move to freedom, and she felt there was a resentment aspect somewhere hidden that needed to be removed. So we went into the universal field of wisdom, and she recounted many incidences. She picked up lots of incidences where the resentment was built in, and very many lifetimes. And then we eventually got to a lifetime where there was this family moving through the marsh with tall grass, but moving forward and moving out of the old. And as they moved out of the old, they came into a beautiful valley with the sun shining, with birds, it's got the sense of freedom completely, a river running through it, and happiness and freedom and joy and just love amongst the people. Started describing this to me. So I said, do you feel it? She said, yes, she does. And so we unified with all of that. And the group of people spoke to her, and she said, Jane, I identify with all of that. She said, I've moved through marshes as well, but this is the big one, the big release, the big letting go. And so that sense of freedom, she then unified with, as I've said. And then we talked more, and the people talked to her, and she talked to the people and asked her questions, because in the universal field, that's where I told you get your definitive answers. So she was asking how and why and her next steps and so on. Now, you can do this on the quantum epics and the skill. You can, but not in the same ways as where you feel it, where you've done it. So I'm prompted on the epics and the quantum skill to ask the questions, whereas here you are prompting yourself. So then we would go back to the mother and the father, her own mother and father, and give back the memories honorably. so that you're not left with those molecules of emotion, and you are in your freedom. You are in your golden energy. You're full of life force. So I forgot to say, this lady started with a lot of tension on her neck and her shoulders. This was the burden. So at the end of it all, I asked them to check their body again. And she said, I'm just feeling taller. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling full of the life force. Then I said to her, and how does the neck and shoulder feel? She said, Jane, there's not any burden there anymore. Not in those words. She said, I'm free. And then they sit down, and with the support of the ancestors. The ancestors get so excited. They get so involved in this because you're carrying the baton. They know that you're carrying this way forward. And she was really, really satisfied too, because she's got her own children and she doesn't want these emotions to carry on down the line. And then she, often there's no words. So there's quiet and stillness for a while. And then words will kind of surface. And wow, that was amazing. I've never done anything like this before. What a transformation. Jane, I'm feeling amazing. And then we talk through it. And, as we've cleared one, I always say be prepared, because the next level of dis-ease or disorder is going to come somewhere along the line. But get back into the life force, the freedom, the unconditional love, the stillness, most importantly, and work out, is this my business or isn't it? That's always the first question. If it's not yours, leave it. Don't get involved. Keep going where you're going on your path to self-discovery. And like a leaf flowing along a river, around the rocks, bit of vortexing, bit of balancing of the happy and the sad, and the leaf carries on. And in the flow, there's no stoppage, there's no stuckness. So the beauty for me is to look and observe at someone who's moved from stuckness to freedom. Okay, moved from resentment to fulfillment, and move, from blame to enlivenment, because they've learned what they've needed to learn from an incident. So this is really what we do. This is what I do on a daily basis. We come back, they take some nutrients home, they're on their journey, they're resetting, restoring, rejuvenating, and rejoicing each time, and removing things that are in the way, perceived or real, and advancing themselves. And in so doing, assisting others as well. And that's what I love, where people take that knowledge and share it with more people. And come back to me, Jane, there's another issue. We need to clear it. Let's sort it out, Jane. Let's work out my business strategy. And then, set the business goals in place as well. So this is the holistic integrated epigenetic life orientation system that I've brought to you in the universal field of wisdom, called HIELO. And, it's a framework that's free, that you're able to, and it's an iterative process that you can dip into and make yourself more and more aware of the catalysts, not getting bogged down in the catalyst, the finances, the education, the spiritual life, the world itself, home, family life, health. Those are all catalysts, and moving, and raising your consciousness on a higher and higher level. And in so doing, the DNA shifts as well. And my goal has always been to provide the tools for healing. That's what I wanted to do. I work physically from a global point of view, but always in the existential experience, the universal field of wisdom, in true holism. And I put it that way. So that's really what I'm looking at. Holism is inclusive. It's multipolar. It's more than 5,000 years old. I can relate to ancient Eastern Taoism, Ayurvedic, Buddhism, traditional medicine around the world. It's all based on holism. It's all based on nature. It's all based on the seasons, evolution, constant perpetual harmonic renewal. And, we're all carrying the baton this time. So let's look at the world. Let's see what's happening there. Let's unify. The world is divided. We are divided. What you see out there is what's inside here. So the more we unify, the more we reform, the more the world will. And that's what the world's waiting for. So we'll be in war until we unify. I think that's really, the case. And stop being in the duality, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the blame. Unify this into, good intelligence. As we heal physically, neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And continue with our major advances. And everything that's happened is real. It was meant to be. If we were supposed to go reductive, look at all the medical advances, look at the financial advances, look at the world, look at all the massive advances. And let's embrace it all. But at this point in time, not at the cost of humanity, because we are the beacons. We carrying the batons. We can't afford to be ill. So this is the new paradigm shift that we're looking at, moving into holism, which includes reductionism and includes everything, all inclusive. And accepting that there's going to be some sort of disorder, accepting that there's going to be place for renewal always. And when we get to the new paradigm, there will be a new paradigm again. So, and for yourself as well. So let's move towards alchemy. Let's move towards nature. Let's move towards harmony, happiness, and keeping in the flow. And to do that, well, we've got to actually learn it, I was going to say, but we've got to be conscious of it. And if we do get sidetracked, just to bring ourselves back into the central stillness, where we can work on whatever's coming to us and shift it into joy, freedom, unconditional love, and know that we set it up, we are responsible for it, we're going to learn from it. So that's really what I wanted to share with you today. Understanding through self-transformation, through self-actualization. Who am I? Why am I here? Once you've got it, there is no debate. You move forward. And I really think that this discomfort, the chaos, the state that the world's in right now is here to teach us this, because people are just shifting like this in a heartbeat. It's just really too incredible, really too incredible. So you can always book your HIELO process with me. You can book and buy your nutrients online at the 365healthybychoice.com website. And just to say that there's a big sale on with the castor oil packs and the castor oil bottles. That's pure natural, golden, hexane-free, cold-pressed, raw. You couldn't get more. So that's really a holistic product. Which again, it's got intelligence and it's not new. It's been around for ages. So if we work with the quantum field, we work with nutrients that are in that quantum field, they haven't been fiddled with. They are not manufactured. They are not extracted. Pure cold pressed oils, you're going to get results. You will definitely get results. It's almost like the nutrient knows what to do. An algae, a blue-green algae, a royal jelly, a medicinal mushroom, a reishi, a lion's mane, a cordyceps, it's Siberian ginseng, a foti on the herb side, the almost gold, the microbiome reset. They know what to do. You don't have to tell them, just take it. So with that, I urge you to go and have a look at the sale and buy your products and digest a bit of what I'm saying about the HIELO process. Spending a lot of time teaching on this so that we can really move forward and get your nutrients. They must be food state. That's the dynamism that I'm talking about. They're grown now, for now, out of nature's pharmacy. I see there's a question. Okay, so Katya wants to know, how do you know you're going to stay in the state of freedom and unconditional love? Once you're done the process, guaranteed you'll get there. But like I said earlier, because we're in constant perpetual harmonic renewal, we are constantly urged to raise our consciousness. So the next dis-ease or disorder is going to come. But your awareness to that dis-ease and disorder is you know it. You say, okay, fine, I can see what's happening here. Let me understand if it's my business or not my business. That's the first step. Because remember that the people that you're dealing with and the circumstances, but the people are also living their mental construct. So they can set you up. I'm going to irritate you because I know that I can, and therefore I've satisfied my construct. But you're more aware now, so you're not going to react. You're not going to judge anyone. You're going to work in a neutral space. So if someone ruffles your feathers and you allow them to, you know there's something that you need to heal. So it's a continual, perpetual harmonic renewal of getting back into the conscious state. But the conscious state is not linear. There's a trajectory. So the more you know, the more you know, the more you know, the more you're able to deal with it. It's not a steady state. It's not like I got there. I said in the beginning, it's not a destination. It's a journey. And as much as you want to put into it, as much as you want out of it is your choice. So you can sit with the information knowing it and do nothing about it and just observe, or you can actually decide, like I said, when you're on your deathbed one day, you know what? I gave life the fullest. I gave it everything I could have. Knowing that you set up everything, you're responsible, and all the incidences are there for you to learn. Well, if we don't learn it, the pattern repeats and it gets louder and worse until the body's is actually in the wrong magnetic spin. To rewind the body into the right magnetic spin is very difficult. So there, it's guaranteed. Yes, of course. If I'm dealing with someone who's refusing to get out of their left brain, let me just stop sharing here a moment. If I'm only as good, you are only as good as you. I'm only as good as you. So I can set up the field. Remember, I'm not doing it for you. You are doing it. The willingness must be there. You must be willing to put the brain out the room and work with whatever's here. Not have an expectation, not have a time limit. So you set yourself. I'm going for this 100%. I'm going to get where I need to get to. I'm going to uncover what I need to. That lady today wanted to resolve this constant battle in the family. And to the point where we got to, where she saw the family moving through the marshland, coming out of the stuck, dirty mud, and the tall grass where you couldn't see through, into a clearing that was just beautiful. I didn't have to do it for her. She did it. But she trusted herself. She trusted the process. She trusted what was coming through. It was too beautiful. So that part of it, you want to be really willing to do it. And who wouldn't be? Otherwise, you're wasting your money and my time. And that's no good. That's really no good. You know what I mean? Any other questions? Does it sound exciting? Does it sound like something, wow, I'm getting a handle on what Jane's saying? The framework's there. Last week I discussed the framework. So if you go and have a look at last week's video recording, it's on my YouTube, Jane Mackenzie. Pleasure. And the last 3 or 4. Good. Then you'll get more of a handle of what I'm saying. And soon the research will be on the repository, and you'll be able to go and read it and indulge in it and get what you need to get out of it. To me, this is simple. I don't know anything more than this right now. Maybe in 10 years it will be different, but we only know what we know right now. We don't know what's beyond the universal field of wisdom. We don't know what's past the 0 point. We can't even measure it. We can't even measure consciousness. We can measure the quantum collapse, the shift when you hand the memories back. That is a complete quantum collapse. That is raised consciousness, because that freedom comes through. We can measure that with quantum physics. That's my research. So as far as holistic well-being and healing is concerned, that's as far as I've brought the world. We have to wait for the next scientists, the next modern day mathematicians to be able to quantify or synthesize the experience. The experience cannot be quantified or measured right now. So when you've shifted from stuckness to freedom, there's not too many words and very difficult to measure it, but you know it. And you don't unknow it. And it's a scalar wave, so it's done. That awareness is there. You don't become unaware. So it's really cool. I love it. And I find it very enlivening to work with you all. And I learn as much as you learn. And well, to me, it's just taken everything to the next level. You know, in genuine authenticity, truth, everything that is in my paradigm, my existential holistic paradigm, put it that way. So let's run with this. The 29th of November, we're going to celebrate all of you who've taken the bull by the horns and done it, cleaned yourself, moved yourself to the next level, increased the trajectory physically, emotionally. We're going to celebrate you, and we're going to celebrate the opening of the chronic disease clinic. It's been open, but the bigger opening now, because it's much bigger. And I look forward to that. And you'll be invited. It's a Friday, so you can come past and share with us. I'm going to make a wall of testimonies where everybody can put their testimony in, and we can just build up a collective consciousness around that. If any of you have got any ideas for the Friday the 29th, let me know as well. Good. And we will see you next week, Thursday. Thanks for coming. It's been an honor to be with you, to assist with your healing process, and in so doing, heal myself in all humility and gratitude. Thank you.